I have two sides.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry for the very much late arrival. Apologies. Um, I thought those messages went away because I reported that spammer, and then I thought I removed them. Are they still visible? Like, is YouTube lying to me that they're gone, or was it some bot account Sextreme Pro? Are they still visible there, or are they gone? Definitely not based. It's definitely not based. Human trafficking is not based at all. Wait, the music's still really loud. Hold on. That should be better. That should be good. Okay. Sorry for the you still see them? What the hell, YouTube? I literally reported and it got rid of them on my end. Yet it's still there? That's stupid. It's just lying to me. Freaking YouTube's gaslighting me. Yeah, because it says that they're gone. I reported them all and then they're gone. Music was end on my end. Was it? Sounded like it was too loud. Okay, let me turn it up a little then. It feels like it's too loud, but I don't know. I mean, according to my things, it's saying like it's like half as loud as my voice. I don't know if that's actually the case or not. But if nobody's complaining about the music volume, then I'll just leave it like that for now. How's everyone doing? Sorry about the giant monstrous glare on the corner there. It will be gone soon enough, hopefully. I can't really do much about it right now because it's just there. But it will go away soon. Yes. Okay. Hopefully very soon. Can see my face. In any case, what is happening today? How are we today before I get started on today's stream and what I'd like to converse or ramble on about? How's everyone's day going? How is your trash can occasionally stay optimistic, your occasionally trash can of a life doing today? And let's see what we can do to improve some of that, at least for this next hour. To some degree, at least even be a distraction. Which is, escapism and distraction are oftentimes very necessary tools of the schizoid trade. It's a very close star shining into your spaceship. Yes, that's what it is, Trudy. You figured it out. It's my spaceship, my cabin spaceship, my cabin design looking spaceship flying through the cosmos. And that is, in fact, a dying star shining through the window. Let's see here. Sigma, anxiety is a primary obstructor to my social skills. I can talk just fine and mask well without anxiety, but under its presence, my mind tends to go blank and is bombarded with intrusive thoughts. I think it's just a exposure problem. Primary obstructor. So are you just saying that it's only when you're anxious that you can't socially function as good? So in any other situation you can? It's fine? Like as long as you're not particularly anxious, you can manage. Okay. Yeah, that's what the question was for the poll today. I wanted to know a little bit more about people who do happen to listen, happen to see this. I want to know, do you think you do a pretty good job masking, or do you think you do a pretty poor job, or feel like you're not doing any kind of job you just like never really developed the skill very much, and you kind of either present in what would be considered to be in a very awkward fashion, or just get away from the situation. What's up? One second, guys, trying to get something done. Get the door, please. Thank you. All right, here we go. All right, sorry, there was stuff that needed to get done in here, and lights need to be on for a second. No, they're not. And that's good. Okay, whew. It's nice and cozy around here. I don't feel the anxiety that much, but I do feel uncomfortable. Oh yeah, that's understandable. Okay, so despite me not feeling it much, my conditioned behaviors remain the same. Now I want to wait a little bit till maybe we get to like 4 or 5 people in here. Once we have 4 or 5 people, I'll go ahead and get started on what it is I wanted to like mention, or see if maybe we can. Well, actually, no, we don't have to wait till that long, because I wasn't. Okay, well, maybe I should. I want to wait for it. I got like 4 people. Come on, can I get 5? Then I can get started. Start prattling on about with my probably terrible advice. Everyone loves me, but I don't give 2 fucks about them. So you're masking too, Trudy, right? When I'm taking it from that. There's just a lot of masking going on your part as well. I mean, unless they love you in social situations because you don't give a fuck. I don't know. Sometimes that works depending on the situation. Oh my god! I thought when you thanks for getting rid of those, Milay. I reported the other ones he posted, so I thought that would stop future posts from showing up. Oh, you smile and say thank you. I know that one. That's pretty familiar. I don't think I do that one as much anymore if I don't feel it. It's been kind of like that for me for a bit now. But yeah, what I wanted to discuss a little bit is some of the skills, defenses, and everything else that a lot of schizoids develop. And not just schizoids, just people, neurodivergent people that have a tough time in the social department for a variety of reasons. I like to hear what sort of manners they found to adapt to those situations, or what strategies they use, right? Because look, let's be realistic here. If you're somebody that's neurodivergent, you're probably going to have a tough time socializing with the average person to some degree or another, or you're going to be pretty good at it, but you're not going to be very happy about having to. Or you're only going to be able to do it for so long before you just feel really drained or tired, and you just kind of want to go be isolated or do something different. That has been a common theme in my life for many years. Well, since I can remember. I developed some pretty good skills. My mask is pretty on par when I need to use it. My ability to kind of semi-gaslight myself into thinking I'm not having as uncomfortable a time as I actually am has gotten pretty good over the years. Not so much anymore, I'll be honest. Probably because I've been kind of not in a lot of open social situations with a bunch of regular folks a lot of the time, like I used to have to be, especially when I was working like full time and doing just customer service and sales. Then it was just like constant draining. Now I'm always tired for entirely different reasons, but at least I'm less anxious. Didn't do much for the depression, but it definitely helped with the anxiety. Everything else associated with stress certainly does. But I like to hear what methods you use. I like to hear what thoughts you have on the matter. I like to hear about the difficulties of people that can't do any of these things and can't accomplish said things. One second. Just 2-year-old runs in here, starts screaming. Close the door. Oh. It stuck? Oh, it's okay. Like that then. Just leave it like that. She's attempting to close the door. Alright, well I guess that's good enough for now. Christ. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, maybe it's a bit loud now. Okay. Now it's loud. Okay. See, I knew it. I knew it was gonna be too loud. It was just the song. God damn it, no one's listening. Hold on, let me turn it down. There. That should be fine. But no, but as I was saying, I've developed a lot of strategies, a lot of tips, a lot of ways to kind of mitigate the energy drain, all kinds of shit. I uploaded a video with tips a while back. I probably have even more than that, depending on like the kind of questions people ask. And then I kind of want to hear questions about how to manage this or how to manage that, how to deal with this type of social stress, how to deal with these type of situations, how I dealt with them, so I can kind of convey that. I can convey how I dealt with similar situations. Maybe that's useful. What I found to be the most efficient. I'm an old guy now. So it's so frustrating. Wouldn't be an extreme. Am I back? It looks like I'm back. It's so frustrating because like my internet's fine. Like it didn't say anything wrong with my connection. It's just YouTube dropped it, and so I had to like reset. I had to like reset it through YouTube for some reason. So it wasn't my internet that took a shit. It wasn't my computer. Last time it was my computer that froze completely. I was just alt tabbing, and the whole thing just took a fat dump. And then, yeah, I'm too controversial for YouTube apparently. And this time it was just YouTube that took a dump on me. And before it used to be because I'm using different software now, and the software seems to work fine. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking at, like, the task manager here, and I'm not seeing anything too crazy. I mean, Chrome, as everyone knows, Chrome takes a big chunk of your fucking everything, considering it's just a goddamn browser. It's absurd that my broadcaster for this, like, my software for my broadcasting sometimes takes up less of my PC's like abilities than Chrome, but it's still fine. It's well under any kind of issues. This rig works just fine for this kind of stuff. So I'm not sure, man. I know I got to use a different fucking browser for this shit. The only reason I use Chrome is because I have my whole Google account linked to the YouTube, so everything's just like auto fucking gets in a lot faster and easier. When I try to use an alternate browser, like it's a bigger fucking mess. I have to like start entering all the passwords and shit again, and then you can't. I don't know. It just gives me weird problems depending on the browser and depending on what I'm trying to do. This doesn't give me as many problems like Chrome, but it fucking. Jesus Christ. Alright, so now that I lost half the people that were on here, they're ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous, man. We're back. What's that? Gentle. Thanks. I like the we're back. I didn't see it till right now. You cheeky bastard. You cheeky bastard. Whoever you are. Whoever you are. I thought you were Miloid / BB for a while, and I guess you're not. So that's kind of funny. Unless you just have a different account. You're just fucking with me. In which case, that's fine. I can respect that. I can absolutely respect that. I'm waiting to see if some people jump back on that I lost. Because I want their opinions and thoughts, and can't exactly get them when nobody's here again. Alright, well, it looks like I'm not getting a lot of those people back. It's so fucking annoying. Zero my, like, my error on my side. That's what makes it extra annoying. Alright, well, hi Andrew. Well, that's good you're here, Andrew. Okay, so yeah. Oh, Zero's is here too. I hate when you really want to end a conversation and leave, and they still want to go on, and it makes it awkward. Alright, we can talk about that too. Okay, so now that I got a few of you back, I don't know, maybe just YouTube's lying to me because I see a few of you. I want to, it says there's 5 people besides me here. Okay. The account's always fucking wrong on the fucking, this goddamn thing. Let's see if I can reset this. Maybe it'll update the information. That's probably all it is. It's probably because it took a shit and then... Yeah, it's still saying there's only like fucking 2 people or 3 people. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, so I'm gonna open it up to the stream. We can talk. If somebody in chat really has like a burning question they want me to ramble on about, you know, you can just dump a super chat. Whatever, fucking $3. I don't give a shit. And I'll go ahead and ramble on about that as much as I can, or try to answer it as much as I can. And the subject today is kind of tips based on my own experiences, my own knowledge on the subject, on how to like more manageably mask, manageably deal with certain types of social situations, some of the stress that comes with it, if you're neurodivergent, more specifically. I don't really have a lot of tips or information for people that are, say, like, avoidant, because, like, the reason for why it's stressful or uncomfortable or frustrating is going to be very different than it would be for someone that's, like, in the schizo spectrum, or even somebody that's on any other kind of neurodivergent, like autism spectrum. Like, the frustration is obviously going to be very different than, say, a neurotypical person that is avoidant. And they might have entirely different reasons for social anxiety or frustration or whatever than somebody like myself. So I might not be able to give them the advice they need on how to manage some of those feelings. Apologies for that. But if you're definitely in the whole neuroatypical sort of side of things, I might have better advice on how to manage kind of the societal, or not societal, but the social framework and social situations that involve, obviously, in most cases, more people that you can't really vibe with cognitively as much in many ways. At least not without masking and such. So, anyway, oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the subject, Trudy. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to whoever wants to hop in, and we can talk about whatever. Well, not whatever, but we can talk specifically about this subject and maybe ideas you have. And if you, like I said, questions, just, I mean, I'm not begging for super chats, but I'm begging. I'm kidding. No, but it'd be like the cool way to just like for me to spend some good chunk of time rambling about it for you. Let me see here. Why isn't this available? Okay, there we go. Unmuted. All right, who's on here with me now? Let's see. Oh, hey, what's up, Mila? How you doing?
Mm.
What? What?
But
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I just said hello.
Oh, hello. Hello. So what's up? Do you have anything to share or anything you'd want to discuss pertaining to your own difficulties in social situations and maybe questions you have pertaining to how to manage any of it?
I don't know.
You're like right now, this very second, talking to you, Angst, on the stream is when I'm dealing with it. You said, but you've told me before, Amelia, that you do some masking when you're in situations, right, that require you to.
Yes, I do.
What does it look like exactly when you do it? Because I don't think I've ever seen it. So, and if I have seen it, then you're doing a piss poor job.
Um, I think I come across as more extroverted,
Well,
I suppose.
can you fake it now?
You're really robotic right now, by the way.
Oh shit! I'm falling apart. Is it good? Am I back? Am I a
Um,
robot? Am I lagging?
Not now.
God damn it! Fucking I hate everything. Okay, so can you hear me? Okay now.
Yeah,
Okay, so can you give me an example of what that looks like?
like right now.
I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to give you like a prompt? Do you want me
This
to?
is a test.
Okay, this is a test. Oh, okay, well, it's not really a test. Jesus. Okay, how about this one? Okay. What would be a situation? Okay, you're at you gotta go to a doctor's appointment or something, and there's like a lady sitting next to you, and then she looks over at you as you're waiting there to get called or whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm so worried. I'm so worried about my poor cat. Do you have any pets?"
Okay. I don't know if I can do it. Like just
No, it's too.
imagining
Is
it.
it too hard? Yeah, you need it to be real, huh? You need the actual threat.
Yeah, I
It's
need the fight or flight.
you need the fight or flight. Is that what keeps you masking? I just want to know. I'm just.
Yeah.
I don't. Since I've never. Obviously, I don't generally put you in that position. I'm just curious as to what that looks like for some people. Like, I'm wondering if like a lot of schizoids out there can only like trigger their masking strategies under very specific circumstances or contexts, and they can't really just do it on the fly. Like I can just do it whenever. But when it's just me doing it intentionally for fun, it's not so bad because I just find it funny. But when it's doing it under a situation in which it's required, then that's when it's really draining for me. And but I can manage it for extended periods of time, like hours and hours at a time. Would you be able to manage such a thing for hours, or is it more just for like minimal interactions?
If it's a matter of survival, then yeah, I can
What
probably do it
what
all
what?
day. But
Yeah, what does that mean? A matter of survival? How do you define that?
there was this thing I was a part of a few years ago. This sort of theater thing, um, and obviously you had to be really social there.
Uh-huh.
And um, well, I was pretty good at masking there, but whenever I came home at the end of the day, I would just fall to the floor and I'd be so exhausted that I'd fall asleep there.
Would you well and I'm imagining because of where you live, you're probably only really used to masking in your native language, not in English.
Yeah,
Is it a lot easier to mask in your native language?
maybe, yeah, because I'm more used to it.
And also because like are you like what are you when you mask do you are you consciously mimicking anything in particular? Like what are you
Um,
tapping into when you do it? Like
I think I'm trying to match the energy of the other person and how I'm imagining their personality is like.
and what would be conducive to theirs? Like to make them like you or be okay with you?
Yeah, to be okay with me.
Interesting. So you don't go out of way to bring attention to yourself in any capacity.
I don't know, not really.
BB says it's easier for me to mask in other languages. That's interesting. Could you elaborate that on that, BB, in chat? Like I'm curious to what you mean by that, and why that might be. Mouse, were anyone else's parents away in prison or something similar, so you stop yourself from feeling the love? I can't say I can say that. I don't think I ever consciously stopped myself from feeling anything. I think a lot of my stunted emotional growth in as far as the feelings department until more recently was stunted because of environmental adaptations. But nothing where I actually thought about it or intentionally did it. And the reasons I went through it, Mouse, weren't because of any specific type of lack of parentals, availability. Although it could have been on a more complicated level. Um, Mouse, and now it seems like your brain doesn't even produce oxytocin except for maybe exercise or emotionless procreation. I'm not sure what your situation in particular is, Mouse, but I would say that I think that's what happens to a lot of schizoids, people on the schizo spectrum like that, is because they tend to have an environment that is unsuitable to them in many cases, and because their emotional connections aren't really being either validated or regulated. If they're negative things that need to be regulated by their environment, then oftentimes, yeah, they lose touch with what it is that makes them feel anything, and they lose touch with feelings in general because they're not exactly useful in a situation where no one is acknowledging or working with them, or you don't have anyone around you to mirror properly, right? You end up mirroring people around you just like any other person learns to, but you're doing it on a more conscious, unintuitive level because you're not just naturally working yourself into some kind of um, how do I explain this? It feels like I would say neurotypical people when they grow up as children, they have humans around them to look at and mimic, but a lot of the things they're mimicking because those behaviors are being displayed under a very um, common sort of like it's a common set of behaviors for the most part that they can mimic from their peers and sometimes family members that end up being pretty intuitive for them to fall in line with in many regards because it's kind of being driven by a commonality, like a cognitive commonality there. But when you're a neurodivergent kid, a lot of the behaviors that are being displayed are either confusing or difficult for you to mimic in any intuitive way. And so then you end up mimicking them because you're just trying to get by and you're trying to like get people to not be upset or annoyed or angry with you. And so you kind of it ends up being more of a conscious effort and it feels unnatural a lot of the time. Um, let's see here, BB. It's easier for me to mask. Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much all the real formative life experiences are attached to my native language. Other languages are more raw and easier to form in that sense. Effects such as voice fluctuations on specific words that have memories or memory triggers attached to them are lessened, and generally the words are less significant, which makes it easier to lie through masking. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying there, baby. What is your native language, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know if you ever told me. I can't remember. But what is your native language? See your mouse. So you guys consciously mask? I just act polite when I need to. Well, how do I explain this? To me, the act of German. Oh, okay, cool. I speak to a few peeps that are German. It's interesting. So okay, so when I say that I'm consciously masking, it's more that I'm not. Okay, here, here's a good. I'm trying to find a good sort of way to phrase this. I'm not pretending that I'm in a good mood when I'm not in a good mood, so that people don't know I'm in a bad mood or I'm sad. Okay, so I'm not pretending to be in a good mood when I'm depressed. So I'm showing the version of myself, the natural, intuitive version of myself that normally would be displayed if were I to be in a good mood. Right? Okay, that's not what I'm doing. When I mask, I'm presenting a person or a way of speaking, and sometimes it becomes automatic, right? Because I've done it for so long that I know is conducive to the situation, right? So I might be in a decent mood, but even in a decent mood, I have to mask in front of a lot of neurotypical social situations because I know were I not to, it might lead to certain kind of questions or consequences or difficulties and miscommunication. So then I have to make the conscious effort sometimes, but sometimes for me, it's been for a lot of people still conscious, but for someone like myself that's been doing it for so long, it's just automatic, but it's still exhausting because I'm like aware on a certain level. I'm aware that it's exactly what I'm doing, right? Because it doesn't feel I'm not getting any emotional satisfaction or connection out of the interactions as I'm doing it. I'm I'm kind of like going through the motions, if you will, like the behavior that I know functions. I'm not like sitting there going, okay, now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to say this. Like it's not as intellectualized as all that. At least for me, um, it's pretty automatic since I've been doing it for so long. But after I'm done, I just feel like shit, or tired, or just like, ugh, I wish I didn't have to do any of that, or my thoughts aren't matching my behavior. In other words, that's often what's happening. One sec. No. Sorry, baby was going to bed. So, yeah, so I would say that's like the way I would describe it is I know it's not who I am. And I know while I'm doing it sometimes because I have thoughts that are kind of popping into my head that I'm not expressing. Like I have these thoughts in my head of like, when is this going to be over? I don't care. I don't know. Why do I have to do these things? Why do I have to do any of this? Like whenever there's a quiet moment in between like the interactions, I'll have thoughts like that. And I'll get frustrated and such. And then as soon as the situation presents itself in which I have to keep it going, then I do. I just kind of like snap back into it, and then I'm like, oh, you know? And then during those quiet moments in between, I'm just like, fuck, 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 fuck. Like I just want to go. I want this to be over. I want to go home. I want to play my video game. I want to read my book. I want to go somewhere else, do something else. I want to retreat back inside my mind in some capacity. Apple pies, apricots. It feels like I'm watching myself speak when I'm asked. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Because, like, it doesn't take me that much processing power to mask. And so my mind is still like doing things in the background while I'm presenting a certain way. Like absolutely, that shit's happening constantly. I hate it. It's really it's draining, man. Yeah, always fun to just retreat back into your mind, do some video or books. Hell yeah, dude. Like fuck. Like that's the kind of stuff I like to do after a lot of social. Like I like to work, dude. Like okay, hold on. Let me explain something about myself a little bit. I like, you know how they talk about like type A, type B personalities or whatever. I don't know. Have you guys heard of that? Carp, Mele?
I have.
Okay, so type A's are the types that are like self motivated. Type B's are the ones that need external motivation, right? So, I'm a self motivated individual. Like, I don't need other people to like egg me on or present rewards or do certain things to make me do things, right? I just fucking do them. I've always been like that. Even when I didn't like, especially now that I found something that actually gives me rewards, which is working on this. But before, I would just in my attempt to find some kind of reward for being well alive, I went to and kept trying everything, right? And so I'm absolutely a type A in that sense. But the problem becomes that you keep hitting walls over and over, and you kind of lose your mind because you can't seem to find anything that works. If that makes any sense. And you still get the stress of like, okay, I want to do something. I got to do something. I got to make something happen, make something work somehow, make this function, make this that function. So I kept trying different things, trying different masks, trying different copes and shit to like make my environment feel more compatible than it really was for years. Meanwhile, somebody that's I guess what would be considered type B, they would probably just go, okay, well, fuck this. I don't want to do anything, so I'm not gonna. And nothing out there is going to be externally motivating them, so they're just not going to move. Right? They're just not going to do anything. They're just going to fucking give up or do the bare minimum just to be left alone. Like there's only so much that an external environment can punish them with to make them do more than they really have to. So I think that a lot of if there is more of a thing of a self motivated and a externally motivated individual, I think the externally motivated schizoids of the world are having the way rougher time than the self motivated proactive sort of schizoids. Because I'm not saying they're having a rougher time. Sorry, take that back. They're having a rougher time being functional in society. Emotionally, they're both having a shit time. But so I'm saying maybe I'm not super type A and can use motivation, but I just don't. But I don't just do not. No, that's not what I mean. Like, I mean that would be incredibly functioning in society. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like type Bs out there, schizoids would just be like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum and I want to be left alone and do the bare minimum. But the type A's are gonna be like climbing ladders and like not physical ladders, but like they might actually climb social ladders, but they're hating it the entire time. They might like get really motivated to do certain things because they think, oh man, there's going to be something at the end of this. There's going to be something at the end of this. There's got to be something. Fuck, and then they keep fucking doing. And it just keeps ending up being shit that they don't care about or that really rewards them. So eventually they burn out, or they have moments where they burn out super hard, and then they go into like this temporary sort of low functioning, like totally burnt out mode, which has happened to me multiple times in my life. Luckily for me, when it comes to this project, it's harder for me to burn out because I'm actually getting a reward out of it because I give a fuck. So because I give a fuck and I'm doing the work and it feels good to do it, even if it's a little stunted at times and the depression gets in the way, it's still like not burning me out for that reason. that's part of the reason why I don't like. There's other stuff I could probably talk about or do that would maybe be more conducive to gaining views or like growing the channel, subscriber count shit. But I feel like if I started doing more stuff that I don't give a fuck about, um, then I'll start burning out, and I don't want to burn out. I want to keep going. So I'm like, this is more efficient. It's more efficient in certain regards than the rewards of getting more views or subscriber count, because then I'll burn out and the whole thing will just collapse in on itself at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, um, hmm. I'm just having thoughts right now. I'm having thoughts about like why this functions, like what certain kind of like if you have this might sound kind of funny, but like I'm just thinking, okay, if you have type A schizoids that are like self motivated and still doing things, and then they start doing things within a community that actually provides them a social or emotional reward of some kind because they're actually being understood to some degree, that's far more tolerable and if not enjoyable, then that'll keep them from burning out, which in turn will motivate the type B schizoids that need external motivations by seeing the rewards that come with it being produced by others, and by hearing others that do it telling them, hey, you should do it because this stuff's cool. And then since they're externally motivated, they might be motivated in that sense by wanting to replicate those behaviors because those behaviors lead to uh, verifiably good results. Um, it depends on the schizotypal Sigma. Like, it depends on what's up with them. Like, it's individual. I've talked to schizotypals that are like totally aware of some things, but also aware that they're not aware of some things. So I've talked to schizotypals that are like, I know I have these things that would be considered delusions. I'm aware that they're kind of delusions because they don't really make too much sense. But if I'm having a rough enough time that week, it's really, really hard for me not to believe these negative delusions. No matter how much, no matter how intellectually I can go, oh, it's not true. It doesn't matter. Like they can go with enough duress and just stress. Their brain like really, really wants to make them believe it. And it's all tied to, of course, trauma and everything else on top of that. Um, Often I think of a schizotypal person with a lot of negative delusions or self-destructive delusions or behaviors that are self-destructive. I often think that's a person that's on the schizo spectrum that's far along at a certain point that just has a lot of trauma for a variety of factors that make their delusions far more destructive um, than they need to be necessarily, or their beliefs far more self-destructive than they might necessarily need to be, were they not to have suffered so much growing up, childhood, and everything else. So I think when you get somebody that's on the schizo spectrum and you put them through trauma, they're going to have some very, very unique, very eccentric manifestations of that trauma than, say, a neurotypical person that undergoes similar trauma. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be positive. It's just going to be more expected, more less idiosyncratic, the type of manifestation of trauma that you're going to see. Because, well, what is it like a? I guess what would be interesting to talk about too is like what is a kind of what would be a neurotypical manifestation of trauma and what would be neurodiverse manifestations of trauma, right? That's actually a pretty interesting conversation. I would actually like to talk to somebody. Um, hmm, since there's not a lot of schizoid or schizo experts as far as in differentiating as neurodivergent and discussing like that, I'm wondering if I could ever have a conversation with a doctor or anybody that's a professional on, say, having autistic patients and some of the psychological issues that can happen if, say, an autistic person or individual grows up in a traumatic environment, like more traumatic than just being autistic in an environment that's sensory, especially incompatible. But I'm talking about like like physical abuse, sexual abuse, things like that, and like if that is undergone by someone that's on the autism spectrum, the manner in which that trauma is manifested and what sort of pathology develops that's kind of unique to being autistic. Um, I think that's an interesting fuck conversation. I definitely would want to find somebody that I could talk to about that. Let me see here. Psychology is cringe, to be honest. People, okay, whatever. Everything's cringe, Ricky. Uh, yeah, sometimes when I'm stressed, I have these intrusive thoughts or fears people will step on. Oh no, wait, that moved up manifesting, such as becoming psychotic. Oh yeah, dude. My 20s was just me like having this dead dread that I was gonna lose my fucking mind, and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Um, so, angst: does child abuse contribute to developing SPD? I was beat emotionally and neglected as a child. That's the thing, man. Like, if you're asking me, I'm gonna have a very kind of odd opinion on that, Sigma, because my opinion is that the child abuse itself is not a is not directly correlated with everything that makes up the definition currently of what somebody is when they describe them as schizoid, right? Like, I think that somebody on a certain neurodivergent spectrum that undergoes certain types of trauma can maybe be pushed to develop some of the negative symptoms and everything else that comes with being schizoid. I think that the type of thinking is a natural component of that person's predisposition, but the say self isolation, disassociation, disconnect from emotional range, a bunch of other shit that just kind of fucks up your life in many ways and makes it really difficult to kind of do anything. I think that's the shit that definitely um, would make you develop some of the negative symptoms or what seems to be more pathological in a schizoid. Wait, what? Somebody gave me a super chat and didn't show up? No, so I'm sure. Okay, wait. Somebody give me a super chat? Oh shit, I missed it. Thanks, Hinsog. Random support bomb for entertaining content later when I'm busy. It's harvest season for farmers. Oh, you're a farmer, Hinsog? The fuck? I gotta hear about that. That's cool as fuck. Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes messages, yeah, they don't always fucking show up. I don't understand. What did I miss? Did I miss something important? Uh, Yeah, I think that I personally think that a lot of the correlation that is seen between somebody that's schizotypal and schizoid or schizophrenic, like some of the negative symptoms that develop over the years, and some of the like isolation and some of the reasons for that isolation is very similar. I think when you're looking at why a lot of the negative symptoms develop and why a lot of the isolation occurs, I think it's going to be a very, very similar reasons to why it happens in a schizoid. And that reason, even if, positive symptoms aside, that reason I think is generally going to be because no one understands me and I can't connect to them and they can't connect to me. And I feel alienated and uncomfortable and frustrated by being around people in general because I can't seem to connect to them and they can't connect to me. And a lot of misattribution occurs in situations unless I'm presenting a persona that is not going to be misattributed because it's just more functional in social environments. And in that case, I rather either not have to do it at all because it's exhausting, or I can only manage to do it sometimes, or it's only driven by fear or survival, shit like that. So yeah, Yeah. But again, thanks Hinsog for the 20. I appreciate it, guys. Like, if you want, like, if you want me to ramble about a specific question or thought, just please, like, do super chats are fucking great, man. Just like $3-4, whatever. $2. I don't know, whatever the minimum is, and just fucking ask the question. And it just it helps out everything I'm trying to do because I have a lot of fucking plans. Type A fucking schizoid here with a lot of fucking plans, but not enough energy to do them. Okay, let's see how the question's doing. I got 20 votes. Do you have trouble socializing at all, or do you mask well? 55% say I present well in social situations. 45% say I run away or present awkward. Grant Wither says, I sent an application in the Discord if you can approve me. Let me look at that real quick. I don't know that I could do it right now over the stream, but because I've seen you on my stream a few times there, Grant, and you're generally pretty chill. Hold on. Actually, I think, when did you do it? Just now? Oh, okay. Oh, I see you. Okay. Yeah, a Carp or Melee, if you can take a look at that application.
On it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And any other applications that might be floating around in there, I appreciate it, Carp. So, yeah, there you go, Withers. Well, we can take care of that. Grant, I don't remember, Grant, are you a Patreon supporter? Because I feel like I see your name on Patreon. If you are, please tell me so that I can give you the right roles and shit. 'Cause I feel like you are, or something. I don't know why. I'm bad at remembering names, horrible names. But I know I've seen Grant Withers floating around more than just on this YouTube. Pretty sure I've seen it elsewhere. I may have admit to, if not, it's fine. But I just feel like I've seen you on just more than just YouTube. I thought maybe it was on the server, but like you said, you weren't on there. So it must be on either Patreon or maybe something else. I don't know. Because I have from time to time gotten like $5 or $10 PayPals from like random people that probably watch my streams, and then I'm like, fuck, I don't know who they are. And if they're from someone from the server, it shows their real name a lot of the time, so I don't even know who it is on the server, but I also don't want to be intrusive and ask them because like I don't want them to dox themselves if they feel like that's what's happening. So then I'm like, fuck, okay, I'll just leave it alone. And then just kind of like think in general. Yeah, probably around somewhere, I can't remember. So I've been in some schizoid groups as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea. It's okay, all good. But if you are on the Patreon, please tell me. That way I can add the appropriate roles. Garden Hermit. Okay. So let's see here. Who's on here? And I got Carp on here too. Hey, how's it going, Carp?
Fine.
So, Carp, what are your you? I don't remember. You said you don't do much masking, do you, Carp? Like you don't like really need to, or do you generally kind of stay away?
I've always been in situations where I was never expected to be normal, so never had to mask much, but I do mask, not masking my flat affect, but masking my thoughts, just hiding my true thought content, stuff like that.
How come you don't is masking your flat affect something you never had to like develop?
Yeah, I never had to develop it, and it's just the thought of trying to...
Am I still here? Or what happened? Oh, okay.
I think you might have cut out for a moment.
Okay, so what were you saying? The thought of trying to what?
Thought of trying to fake a normal voice fills me with disgust. I just don't want to learn how now.
Okay, do you think you could do it, say, if you were playing Dungeons and Dragons? Could you, like, play a character?
Well, I actually play D&D, and I can't do that.
No. I mean, would it be less disgusting or just as disgusting to have to fluctuate your voice in any capacity?
It would be a lot less disgusting if it was
like
for voice acting.
Yeah, for voice acting. Okay, yeah, because it has a purpose, right? That makes sense. Okay, thank you, Gentle,
Right.
for the painting. A painting now of a vase and a flower. Thank you.
I have a feeling it's gonna cut to a dick pic or something.
Please don't. Gentle has been on here before. They've teased trying to be cheeky, but they usually don't do anything too crazy. And I
You
like,
almost said genital instead of gentle.
yeah, just stuff like that. Or they started I think one time, I don't remember. I think one time they did the whole they just put N-I, but they didn't finish it and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think they just like to be playful and cheeky, but which I don't mind actually.
It's just a flower.
Just a flower. Yeah, I don't mind the cheeky stuff. I just don't want anything that's gonna get me fucking in trouble or people associating me to shit that I'm not a part of. It's the last fucking time. That's the last fucking thing I need. I remember a while ago. I'm not gonna obviously mention who or anything, but a while ago I had somebody that left the server because of a joke, like a meme that was put on the memes. Right, there was some kind of meme that was kind of edgy and a little much. I mean, it's a little, but it's more like laughing at the absurdity. In my opinion, it's more of a. It's kind of like those. Have you ever seen those what's it called? Would it still be under post ironic sort of? Those real meta memes where it presents itself as being racist, but it's so absurd that it's obviously not. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, so it was something along those lines that is just so absurd that it's obviously not. And I guess that person was really bothered and thought was associating the entire server to that sort of stuff. And I'm like, oh man. So some loose association happened in their head, and then that was that. I don't know if they've ever come back, but it was unfortunate because they were pretty cool. So, yeah, that was one of those situations. Let me see here. 2 mods on VC ready to ban. I don't think we have to ban Junlo, but I think you're good. I think Gentle just likes to play around. So if anybody wants to jump on and talk about this subject, go ahead and jump on. I want to hear it. I want to hear about your struggles, and I want to hear what your questions. And maybe me or somebody else that's on here might have some tips. But I definitely have a lot of tips when it comes to asking and managing your energy with that kind of shit. So if you have questions, I have answers. Oh, Lord. And if you want to ask any big question in the chat, small fucking super chat or something would be great. If you can't do that, just at me, I guess. Fuck it. If nobody's typing anything in anyway, just at me. And yeah, it should be enough. It'll get me going. Do I like apples? No, not really, honestly. Really. Not a big apple fan. Wow. Oh, is that offensive that I'm not a big Apple fan? Apples are whatever, dude. They're whatever. I've had apples, I've had good ones, and apples are cool. I don't really eat apples anymore because I don't eat a lot of sugar. So I do a lot of keto shit, but
What's the most schizoid video game in your opinion?
what's the most schizoid video game? Well, that's easy. The most schizoid video game I've ever played is the one I was playing way early in my, I guess, streaming hobby at this point. Right, it's not a career because it's not paying enough to be considered that. But and that was The Longing. The Longing is the most schizoid game I've ever played. The Longing, 100%. I don't think I've ever played a single motherfucking game that's more schizoid than The Longing. Yeah, in every way, shape, and form. Whether it be it gameplay and be it just the amount of just time you have quiet to yourself to just introspect, read, contemplate, stare, look at things. Uh, you're basically not interacting with anyone for the most part in the game, but your protagonist is mostly okay with that. And they once they do have some kind of interaction, it's with like a spider and like nonverbal things, and they're perfect. That actually gives them some sense of comfort, and they're perfectly happy just sitting in their little cave with books and stuff, and just doing their own thing and drawing shit. Like it's just the there's no more character more based as fuck as the shade from the longing. So yes, that would be my number one choice in the most schizoid game ever created. You can buy that on Steam. It's great if you have a lot of time on your hands, and you don't have to play it every day or anything. If you know anything about it, you know why. So yeah, the longing for sure. Just sit here and wait for questions. You know what? Let me grab a drink. I'll be right back. Hey, Carp,
Yeah.
tell them a story or something. I'll be right back.
I'm actually a prolific war criminal. I have a net worth of over $5 billion and an army of hundreds of thousands of child soldiers. We cannot hear you, Withers. Yeah, Withers is not in the VC. Gentle, is that copyrighted music? Withers, you just need to have your mic plugged in and click on the voice chat to join it. Angst, you're muted.
Shit, I was saying like, yeah, the copyrighted thing is definitely an issue. Thanks, Carp. Only because like I don't care about claims. Claims are fine because then that just means I can't monetize the stream. I don't care. It doesn't make any money anyway, like that, ads or anything. But I definitely don't want my stream taken down because certain type of copyright shit will just get my stream taken down. That's the last fucking thing I need right now. So yeah, I can't have music that could get my hand slapped. Hey, yeah, I need to join the voice chat, but I can't find the right button. Oh man, a fellow boomer. Okay, let me see here. So what you want to do, Grant, is you want to go scroll all the way down because you're in now. I'm guessing, right? Is Grant in? Carp, is Grant in?
Let me check.
Like, no, did they get?
No, they aren't.
Are,
They aren't in the voice chat.
No. I'm saying, are they in? Like, they could jump in if they wanted to. Technically,
We have Kanye West music on here.
I do believe.
please don't
they're
play
in the
Kanye
server.
West music, please. Gentle. Yeah, just if you well, they got the role right. Like they're in the server.
Right, they're in the server.
Okay, so you gotta go. You gotta go all the way to your. There we go. Did you find it? Oh no, that wasn't. No, wrong one. Go down. Go down. Withers. The one that says Annex live stream. Click on that one. There, you're
Here
in.
they are.
Hello.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh, fellas, appreciate you having me.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, what's up, dude? First time on a stream ever, or hello?
Yeah, I mean, first time in the Discord, but no, I mean, I've seen plenty of you stream.
No, I'm saying on my stream, like talking, and not just on mine, just in a stream in general. Have you ever jumped on someone's stream? I take
I
that as a no.
totally hear you.
Oh, I said, have you
So
ever
here's
jumped on someone's stream before? Is what I was saying, but it doesn't
I'm
matter. Who
getting some
cares?
feedback.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening. But go for it. Ramble away. Whatever you wanted to contribute.
Oh, yeah, something weird's happening with the feedback.
Are you guys having issues, or is it just Grant?
You cut out sometimes.
Oh my god! It's so fucking annoying. Hold on. Okay, well, according to me, according to everything I see, it's fine. So I don't know why I'm cutting out. Okay, go ahead, Grant. You sound fine to me, so go ahead.
All right, bro, that's cool. So, in any case, I mean, the contribution that I guess I would ask for today is that I would ask just if everybody here who's present, and we all think that we have the schizoid, does everybody here know who their quote unquote true self that's in exile is?
No.
No.
I think maybe yes. I think I could say yes at this point for me. Sort of.
So very, very cool to hear, guys. I have to hear everything that you guys say again because I'm getting some kind of double loop or something. But in any case, I'm pretty sure that I do know who the true self in exile is, at least partially. And I'm wondering, I guess, if anybody's made any kind of progress towards integrating their true self into their everyday lives and then healing the core wound, so to speak.
I'll let you guys respond first. All right. No one's saying anything, so I will. All right. Can you hear me, Grant? Or is this still all fucked up?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I mean, it's a little fucked up. I'll have to hear you twice, but just go ahead.
Weird. Maybe you have me. Maybe it's because you have the stream open, dude. If it's because you have
that's what it is.
There you go, boomer. It's okay. I'm one too. How old are you, Grant? By the way, if you don't mind me asking, what is your age?
I am 39, man.
Okay, so we're old as fuck. I'm 38, so I'm in the same boat. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, as far as, because I have some issues with some of the terminology you're using. Not because it's like some of the stuff like self in exile. I get what it is, but like say the core self or the healing of the core self, like some of that terminology, I know where it comes from, and so, sometimes I have issues with it only because it's kind of associated to certain aspects of schizoid that are considered to be solely personality disorder, and it's not taking into consideration anything outside of that. And so like sometimes I'm not a fan, but I think I know a way to answer this even within my own framework, which includes like the kind of more neurodiverse framework that I like to use. And I would say in my case, I am healing the wounds, and it's been taking it's difficult, it's painful to go through this process that I've been going through. And the way I'm healing those wounds is by interacting with other people that are of a similar neurodivergency, because I'm able to express the feelings associated with those wounds to those people, and those people can actually more properly regulate my mood because they actually understand what I'm saying, and they're able to empathize to whatever degree that they're capable of, but sincerely, because they are undergoing similar stressors and trauma and difficulties. So that process in and of itself is definitely healing. Some of the trauma associated with some of the negative symptoms and stuff. Um, the identification of the true self is an interesting one, because part of the problem with that statement in and of itself, in my opinion, I'm just some fucking loser on the internet, but I do my reading.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
the part of the problem with that is that I don't think the people talking about the true self in regards to schizoids know what they are saying, because the true self would have to integrate or consider that neurodivergency aspect, right? Cognitive difference. So, in order for somebody that's legitimately schizoid to um, find some true self, they would have to have an acceptance of that difference, and they would have to have a better environment that would allow them to be that difference freely and
Yes, I
comfortably.
agree. Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, okay. So and so then it's a difficult matter for a lot of schizoids to, no matter how much therapy or psychoanalysis or otherwise
Yes.
that they
Yes.
undergo, for them to find their true self, because oftentimes they're trying to find their true self within a neurotypical framework, and so
I would say that. Yeah. Yeah.
because they're trying to manufacture or find a self with the wrong tools, it's really difficult to pinpoint anything. Um, so
Mhm.
I feel like the tools being used to help a schizoid find their true self aren't the tools they need, and the manner in which they're being used are not the manner in which that would be conducive to healing those wounds and to actually locating parts of themselves that have been either lost to time or experience.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that's one of the major problems, because before I had a real understanding of my own, I guess, neurodivergent nature, I used to just think, oh, I'm just a broken, depressed person that's
Mhm.
busted and angry and confused, and I must be either like, um, and I'm just using the words I used on myself. I used to think, well, I must be somewhat like partially retarded or something. I must be like parts of my brain are fucked up. I must be chemically unbalanced. I must be, and then like later into my late 20s, early 30s, I started thinking more about like, oh shit, what if there's a fundamentally different way my thoughts are, and I just keep thinking it's me being broken and it's just pathology or something. And then I started thinking about it like that. So for a while I started thinking, oh, maybe I'm autistic. Maybe I have what used to be called
Mhm.
Asperger's or something.
Mhm.
And then when I would study that a bit, it was like, I don't really relate to any of this. Like these people that discuss their issues with high functioning autism, I don't relate to any of this stuff. I relate to how different they feel from everyone else, but I don't relate to the manner in which they feel that difference and describe it. So I
Mhm.
was like, fuck, then what the fuck's wrong with me? What am I? And it wasn't till, obviously I discovered more schizoid related talk, and then I started having more conversations with various people on the subject, including Burb was one of those people, that I started finding a language to kind of figure out, oh shit, I know what might be happening here. And now that I have a better understanding of that, and have kind of tried to find myself and
Mhm.
heal certain wounds, if you will, using that language with that
Mhm.
idea in mind, and with that concept accepted, it's actually making the process far more reasonable and far more effective for me. as far as healing and identifying where my emotions are actually connected and what they're attached to. If that makes sense, does all that make sense?
Oh, it does. Yeah, and at least as far as I understand it, and as far as so, I don't want to like dominate the whole stream or anything here tonight.
Well, I mean,
fellas, so
I'll be honest with you. Like, if I ask, Gentlo's not going to talk. Miele's probably not going to want to say too much, and Carp is probably just going to be like, I don't know. I'll talk about whatever. So, Carp, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate every single one of them for that. Like, I don't. So I'm just giving you a heads up, Grant, that if you have questions, you want to talk, all you're doing is giving me content for the stream. So
totally hear you, and I'm glad if so, and I hope that I'm even correct about the diagnosis or whatever, and things like that.
what, regarding yourself or
yeah, so, I
Okay.
mean, so I just recently started going to a therapist, maybe 3 months ago or something, and
late bloomer.
I know, right? Well, so I tell you, the thing about it was I think I put in the application there. I can run y'all through my story or whatever. It's not anything super amazing or anything. It's very
Well, I hear the accent.
typical.
Where are you from?
I'm a Southern guy. I'm from southwestern Virginia
Okay,
and
cool.
in Charlotte, North Carolina right now.
All right, sounds
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to run y'all through any of my story and everything, but it would remind you a lot of the ones that Dr. Greenblatt had. I think I'm saying her name right.
Greenberg. Yeah.
Greenberg. Okay, yeah. She had brought up several different people that have a whole lot of overlap with things that I've experienced and gone through and have done myself.
What about some of the experiences I've discussed or other people have discussed on the stream?
Yeehaw.
Oh Lord! I mean, there's been plenty, brother. I mean, like we've been discussing things for months. I mean, we could go.
No, but what I'm saying,
back.
have you found some overlap and relatability in some of those discussions on the stream?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're probably going to find a lot more on the server.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I mean, your things with just wanting to get back to your video games, get back to your books, and all very common to me. You're the guy that wants to go and hang out at the fucking electronic boutique at the mall or whatever.
Electronic boutique? Oh, you're so old. Those don't even exist anymore, bruh.
Yeah,
that's so funny. I remember that shit. Electronic boutique, bro. I used to go to that was in the malls and stuff, right?
Sure was.
Yeah.
Now, you put it on the stream. You have it on one of your streams from about a year ago.
Oh,
and I just realized,
yeah. It was the fucking. It wasn't a stream. It was like a recording. It was like a meme, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like a Wojak thing. Yeah. That's so good. I remember
and
that.
there was a whole lot of stuff in that one that was very relatable, and it was, I mean, I could just go on.
It was the workplace one, I think, right? It was like the workplace one. I think that's the one that had the electronic boutique. It was like some guy smashing his head against the wall while a customer was talking to him.
Yeah.
That was,
he's at the workplace. Yeah,
that was my workplace ramble that I did like over a year ago.
Right.
No, just EB in general. Like you just like brought back a flood of hilarious memories, only because like I remember. Because see, these are the kind of stupid things I remember. I remember I would sit in front of like my pile of video games in my like early 20s, and I would be like, "Fuck, I need new video games. I'm bored with these." But then I would be like, but then I would look at some of them and I go, that game sucked, but it was funny because it sucked. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to get rid of that. And I'd have to sit there because I would have to want to trade games in, right? And I would sit there for a fucking hour trying to fucking think which ones to get rid of. And it would be really, really hard because I would have like, I would keep some games just ironically because they were just bad. And then I would keep other games because they were good. And then I would keep other games because I haven't played them yet. And they were just been sitting there collecting dust. And so then eventually I would have to fucking like find, I would do funny shit. Like I would go to, I was so sneaky. Like I would go somewhere else or go to a garage sale, or I would go to like a place and I would buy the games for like a lot less than they were worth. And then I would trade them in for a few dollars more. Like if they were on special somewhere, and then I would get like $4 or $5 more than I paid. And so then that way I would amass enough to buy like a new $50 game.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
stupid shit like that. Or I would trade in some games that I just had to sacrifice and such to kind of get something new. But there are some games in my past that I'm like, fuck, why did I get rid of that? God damn it. Like, I'm so pissed about that. I'm like, I should have kept that goddamn fucking stupid thing.
Yeah, I started working. Fortunately enough, I didn't have to do a lot of trading in, and I've kept basically
lucky fuck.
the whole collection. You know, I mean, taking up room and all. I think I let my mom get rid of most of my old stuff eventually.
No, I got. I wish I could show it to you guys, but I have like my shelf. I have a whole bookshelf dedicated to just video game cartridges and CDs and shit. Like, it's just all sitting there. It's just like a fucking my mini mass hoard. My mini hoard of. I call it mini even because if I would have kept going this way, I probably would have had 2 bookshelves worth. But I just have 1 bookshelf worth. And my PS1 games. Oh, I regret. I hate talking about this. I hate talking about this.
We don't have to go. We don't have to go.
No, I have to now. I fucking have to. I have to. Okay, I'm dying here, but I have to. My PS1 games. Oh, everyone's gonna hate me in chat. Oh my god, I don't even want to say this. Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, get ready for you fucking retro gamers or younger gamers that love like old PS1, PS2 shit. Well, PS1 specifically in this case. And you older gamers that like kept your shit intact, prepare to hate me in the next few seconds. Okay, so at some point in my life, let's just say I had stacks and stacks of PS1 games in the boxes.
Oof.
All right, in the cases. And then one day I decided that you know what? Why the fuck do I even have these cases? Who cares? I'm never going to sell these games. I don't care if they're collectible. And so then I fucking took all the booklets out, and I have them all still. And I took all the discs out, and I put them in a big, you know, those giant ass CD folders. And then I threw away all the cases.
Yeah, for the collectors, that would be good.
My god! I threw away every fucking case, dude. Like, I threw every case away, like cover art and all. Just fucking.
Well, I'll tell you what, so bro, I've got.
I regret that to this goddamn day, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, you just got me off on a tangent.
Yeah, I totally hear you. So, I mean, I'll get back on the stream some other time.
Oh, okay.
And we'll talk plenty of times and everything, but I do have to go ahead and get to some work here tonight. So I'll
you don't gotta explain your situation to me, bro. You just dip out, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. You don't gotta fucking say sorry. I gotta leave any of that shit. I don't give a fuck.
I totally hear you, but I wanted to try to steer the conversation a little bit back towards the schizoid stuff if we could.
Oh yeah, sure.
So because
yeah, sure. If you want to drop a question in jam, go for it. So I can keep going.
Yeah. So the major thing that I'm concerned with here. So when you answered that with the true self stuff, you do seem to understand what's going on, and you do seem to and it seems to be gelled pretty well with my understanding of what they're trying to explain when they discuss the true self and the exile of true self. And so
yeah,
the thing about it is I mean, in my case, I'm pretty sure that I know exactly what they mean by the true self, and that it's not just exiled, it's been banished by me for good reason, because like you say, you have to be able to be your true self in your surroundings, or otherwise you will be socialized into having to be in your surroundings and have to be a functional member of society basically, and not do things that are against the law and this, that, and the third.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be even stuff against the law. It's just social faux pas and social incompatibilities. I don't think there's schizoids out there that if they're their true selves, they're suddenly going to go be fucking Jeffrey Dahmers. That's not how it fucking works, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to be a little awkward, a little weird, a little rude, a little indifferent, a little more aloof, a little more irreverent about stuff, and that's going to lead to problems for them. And it's also they're going to have
1 second.
opinions that are a little incompatible. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, totally hear you. Totally hear you. So let me just run this by you, and let me just see
Go
what
for
you
it. Go
think
for it.
about
Sorry.
this. So this is just my hypothesis, and this is what I took away from it, is that what I think they mean by the true self is not just how they would be as a person with schizoid personality disorder or with the schizoid tendencies or the schizoid adaptation, as Dr. Greenberg likes to say. I think what they mean is who you would be as you were born when you were young and prior to you being socialized into the overall social circles in all of society and having to be around other individuals and having to make a functional life,
Well, good
make money
fucking
and all
luck
that.
finding that.
So I hear you, but so I think, and I might be wrong about this, but I think that I actually remember my true self from back then, and I know exactly what they're talking about, and I can present it. I think I actually told you this in a YouTube comment one time, rather long and long-winded and everything. And I
What,
don't
a
mind going
long-winded
over it either.
schizoid? Never heard of it. Christ.
Totally hear you. Totally hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think though, and in my case, I don't mind discussing it at all. I mean, like, so when I was younger, I was just a total little shit to people. I would punch them, hit them, especially my little sister.
Oh my.
I probably had the sibling jealousy thing going on when she popped out from the mama bird. You know, you got that going on, and you're jealous of the attention the newborn's getting. And so, you know, when I was up until age 4 or 5, I would just hit people, and, you know, I would do things like that.
God damn.
Intimidate people, you know, things like that, use intimidation and things of those natures. And not only that, but I'm also, and this is the way I would put it in kind of Dungeons and Dragons language or whatever, but it's also in real life language. What I am all natural, and this literally just arises naturally from me just interacting with individuals of lower socioeconomic status, which I pretty much identify as myself, but I'm up jump nowadays. I make a lot of money, but bottom line.
Oh, okay. You can send me some of that. I'm kidding.
I know, right?
I'm
I know.
kidding. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Continue.
I do need to, actually. As a matter of fact, you've been very helpful. So, I mean, I definitely need to
I do what I do. I'm just fucking around. Continue what you were saying.
But so what I think I am is more or less generally a quote unquote bandit lord. Literally, I will
Like
find
an opportunist?
individuals. Well, I mean, in some ways, yeah, but it literally what it is more of the old school lord relationship, like from medieval times, where you have a person who has the capability to help a person of lower socioeconomic status, helps them with something in their life. Could be money, could be them needing a girl, could be them
Sound like a
needing
mafia.
somebody
But...
intimidated. It is. It's low key mafia. And I did that shit all when I was growing up, man. Like from age 5 to age 10 at least, and I started trailing it off. And
Did you go
stuff.
from level 1 to level 100 like all the fucking ads?
Dude, I'd have probably been in different grades because you only get to do this
Mob
in
Wars.
grades,
Get Mob
right?
Wars on your phone.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that little advertisement
shit.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like your description of, I guess the way you were is definitely not like relatable to me because I was not.
Well, it'd be different for everybody.
Machiavellian,
Yeah, right.
or any of that stuff. But what I'm wondering. No, I'm sure it'd be different for everybody. But what I'm wondering is like what was motivating your kind of more Machiavellian nature. Like, what was motivating?
That is a good question.
Like, what was motivating you to be like, I could be on top of stuff and manipulate
it's not
this
even that,
and
though. No. So hang on. So I may not be.
Well, I heard Lord,
so
well.
Because it's not so much that I was trying to be a lord; it's that you will get the lord relationship emerging all naturally when you supply the need to someone who has a need or a want, and they will then naturally be willing to do you a favor or to give you something in return. A lot of times they'll be willing to do something, really valuable or give you something, a lot of money or a lot of their time, something they might be willing to do something that's really against the school rules or something. You know,
They're giving you them
those kind of
ciggies
things.
in the
When you're,
bathroom.
you get ciggies, you get all kind of candies, and you get all kind of
The
whatever
local
you might need
bicycles
from
giving
women or men.
blowjobs in the bathroom. Anyway,
You could, dude, you
I'm
could get
I'm
anything
kidding,
back
I'm
in. But we're still pretty young at these ages, so because
yeah.
I trailed
No.
off by like 14
Okay,
plus.
so just real quick, what I'm interested in though is okay, so I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to pinpoint like okay, so I can see why a person would be motivated to be opportunistic in certain situations because they get certain types of things in return or whatever. But if you have a memory of this, right? What I'm trying to
Yeah.
ask is, how old? What's the old like? When did this change? What age?
So it would have been gradual. I would have been, they're going to be trying to socialize that behavior out of you from kindergarten when it first starts, around age 5 or whatever, and you have a little group starting to form. You have your little quote unquote gang, and then through second grade,
Gang.
you got this. Yeah, you got your
This
little gang.
guy,
Guys.
fucking Peaky Blinders and shit. Okay, so okay, but this is my question though. Okay, and this is what for me. Okay, maybe we have differing definitions of all this, right?
Sure.
What was this is how I kind of personally define this whole kind of schizoid thing is where I go, what was the motivating factor for this behavior?
Oh, so I can tell you.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
care. You could be a villain, you could be a hero,
Right.
whatever your
Right.
archetype is, that's fine. Whatever rationalization
Well,
you
here's the
use, that's
thing.
fine. But why?
First of all, I just want to say, like, I don't think that necessarily I was that bad of a guy. Like, if we were trying to do intimidation or something, it would usually be to protect.
No, I'm just
some
gonna
girl
run
that
under
would
the
be
assumption that you were a
whatever.
big piece of shit. Let's just do that.
But I totally hear you.
I'm fucking with you. But I'm just saying, like, it's more fun that way. It's more fun that way. But let's just say, regardless if you were Robin Hood or the Sheriff of Nottingham, all right?
Right. So I can tell you the motivation.
Yeah,
So
what's the motivation?
Let's just go ahead and get there. So the motivation is literally just to supply need to somebody who I see that's in need. And it's almost, you could say, do-gooderism, but not even necessarily.
Okay, what are you getting out of it? Why? Like, if you could think about it now.
You'd be surprised. I do this naturally. Like,
I get
this even now.
But I get it. I get that because one of the things that they say about schizoids, if you look at Akshar's fucking profile, is this really weird. There's a section in there that describes our one of our what do they call it? Not visually or immediately apparent behavior, like an internal sort of behavior, is this proclivity for what he described as, or what they described. Sorry, or I don't remember. Were they woman or man? I can't even know. Anyway, since I can't remember, I'll just say that what they described as odd crimes or self-sacrificial behaviors for like
self-sacrificial behaviors. There you go.
So like, but it was those two things, right? And maybe some of those odd crimes were because they had some kind of like principle that they were attached to that made them do something that would be a crime, but in some kind of Robin Hood-esque fashion. You get me? So
yeah, it's to help out your fellow man.
Yeah, in some degree, maybe not always, but in a lot of cases. And so what's funny about that is it all ties back, in my opinion, to a lot of what I discussed, which is the emotional connections to the what would be described as the abstract or the conceptual, right? So like there's maybe your driving force was the mitigation of suffering for people that shouldn't be, for whatever reason that you decided subjectively, like in some like kind of like very kind of broad way, right? Like I'll ask you this: when you were being nice, when you were doing things that were helpful or helping people, were you thinking about those individuals, or were you just kind of doing it on a more kind of broad level? Like, this is the right thing.
And I can tell you very specifically that I'm doing it more on a broad level.
It's more like this is the right thing to do, in my mind.
Yes.
Not,
correct.
I want to help this specific person. And it
Yeah,
wasn't.
although maybe occasionally it might be to help some specific person. Yes, it's more generally you're correct. Yes.
But yeah, and so somebody said, Ricky said, enter heaven. Was it to get to heaven? Were you trying to just get to heaven?
Well, I mean, I was raised Christian, so it may very well have been like back in the day. But I understood even at a young age. I'm pretty sure that in the non-denominational sect, we don't. You're saved by grace, not by works, so to speak. So your works, your good works, don't get you into heaven.
No, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
but you know what's funny about that? Because I grew up Catholic, right?
sure.
My kind of, I talked about this with Greenberg. I don't know if you listened to the conversation when I had with Greenberg, where I was talking about how like when I did the like where I was letting her to like do her a little bit of her Gestalt stuff on me. It was the one where I was
I don't
talking
think
about
I saw
myself. Yeah, there's one where I'm talking about my childhood traumas and stuff.
Mhm.
And with her, and she was kind of, I told her, just do your thing, right? And it was fun. But one of the things that came out of it was me, and I've kind of, this was a really helpful thing for me ever since I talked to Greenberg, was me reflecting on why it is as a child that I was so fucking interested in Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man, Morbius, the downtrodden hero character that does what they believe is the right thing, but society poops on them, right? Like that character, Spider-Man is like the epitome, one of the epitome, like the icons of that, right? He does what he believes is right and responsible and good for his fellow man, but like the city, the media, everyone shits down his throat, right? So, and include in his relationships don't do so good. His interpersonal relationships get damaged because he's so focused on this principle, right? Of great power, great responsibility. And so I was related to the character, and I always thought that was so cool. As a kid, I didn't think very deeply into it. I just thought, that's so cool, right? That's so neat, right? And that's why Spider-Man was always one of my favorites. Growing up, same thing with like Wolverine. I like Wolverine not just because he was tough, but because Wolverine was like this disgruntled, angry dude that hated people, but still kept doing the right thing, right? Because he believed in it for whatever reason. He liked to do the right thing, and he wanted to like, obviously make up for some of his like seedier past. So, and so because of that reason, like I was talking to Greenberg, and I was like, wait, I still want to do that. Fuck. Like I still want to be like Spider-Man. Even when I was a little kid, even now, which is I want to do the right thing, even if institutions or groups tell me bad. No, bad man. Correct. You're not doing the right thing the right way. You're doing the right. You're doing the right thing your way, and that way is bad. Yeah. And so like some of that, obviously you gotta have checks and balances within yourself with some of that shit, right? But but in some sense, it's kind of like what I'm doing now with this channel and everything else, right? And I have to do it that way because if I stop doing it that way, it won't be what I want to do, and it won't be me. So, yeah, that's funny. Like thinking about that and like how I'm still doing that, right? It just I still want to help people, and I especially want to help the people that society has decided are like just forgotten outliers. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. And in my head, I go, I want to motivate other type A or whatever internally motivated schizoids to maybe want to do the same for their fellow sufferers. So and then we can help each other up because like I don't know, yeah, whatever. I'm getting mushy.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, and I think that might be the very similar underlying motivation there. I mean, it's you're helping the person that society has decided cannot have whatever this, that, or the third thing that they actually need or want. And society is saying no, they can't have it. In the kids' case,
and it's not even a malevolence, right? It's not even a malevolence.
It's not. Yeah,
it's incompetence, ignorance, and misattribution and disinterest, right? Like I understand. I understand why I believe, sorry, I believe I understand why this happened. Like I think I have a very strong understanding of why, if there was a, regarding a schizo spectrum, and why schizoids specifically are the most misunderstood, the most cast aside, the most unlikely to seek treatment, even if they are suffering significantly, group out there in Western civilization or whatever, even if they have access to help. Why they're not taking it, and why there's not enough, why there isn't research going into it. Um, like, and it's because it's not interesting to neurotypical people. It's not motivating for them to research it for a variety of reasons I'm not going to get into again. And it's not sexy. It's not interpersonal.
Mhm.
And it's so non-interpersonal in the manner in which it expresses itself and the manner in which it concerns itself, that because of the primarily interpersonal nature and motivations of your neurotypical person, that there's just very little to motivate them to be interested in it in any capacity.
Mhm.
Like
I don't disagree.
yeah, if like schizoids here, I'll use Greenberg's kind of. This is why I love Greenberg. Greenberg had some awesome phrases, and one of those phrases that I always stuck with me was, and hopefully I can do an interview with her on another topic. We want to do some tarot shit; it'll be fun. Anyway, one of those was splash, right? That was one of my favorites. In her book, she mentions something called splash, and it's in the beginning of the book. But she refers to splash as being the amount of AOE damage, essentially, that your personality
Yeah.
disorder has on your environment.
Yes.
Right. So when you're BPD, you got a lot of AOE. Right.
Mhm.
When you're a narc, you got a lot of AOE.
Mhm.
When it depends on the type of narcissism. When you're this or that, certain types of personality disorders or whatever have a lot of AOE damage.
Mhm.
In the case of the schizoid, it doesn't have much
Very
AOE
little.
damage. Very little, very
Yeah.
almost nothing. But
Almost not.
it has a ton of self-concentrated damage.
Oh yes. Yes.
So
Mhm.
so it has like an ass ton of self, like it's like you cast like a fucking whatever level 10 fucking fireball on
Yeah.
your face,
Right.
right? Like
To your own face.
and if people get hurt around you, uh if people get hurt around you, that's only because they were too close, and they would
Yeah.
have to be really close to the explosion that you just cast on your fucking face, right? So
But what's worse? What's worse though?
yeah,
Hang on
but
one
like
second. One
but
second.
I feel like something like BPD is like if we're talking D&D terms, is more of a spell where you're casting like Blizzard, right? So you're casting Blizzard, which hurts you, but it also can hurt other people a lot in similar ways because everyone's getting dragged into the Blizzard creating, right? Um, so it's kind of like, I don't even want to say fireball. I wouldn't even say fireball spell in your face. It would be more like some kind of entropy spell or some fucking, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know, something that would decay, like a decay spell,
Yeah.
or
There you
something
go.
like that. So it's something of that nature, and the only people you're hurting are the people around you going, "Oh my god, that guy's falling apart." You know, and if they're like, and if they're a family member, they're like more hurt by seeing you fall apart. If they're a loved one or a friend, they're a certain amount of, but that's really usually as far as it goes, unless the schizoid gets into a romantic relationship. When they get
Right.
into a romantic relation or have kids and aren't prepared to, for whatever reason, then that's when some of the damage can definitely happen to the people closest to them, and it's all unintentional. Like, it's
Mhm.
all just this confusion and this misunderstanding and miscommunication, I think, that causes it. In my case, that's what happened, right? Any kind of hurt I caused my wife, luckily, not to my children, but any hurt I caused my wife because of my kind of emotional detachment or neglect, or kind of my me kind of casting blame on my environment or her because of my own suffering. Any of those kind of, or my avoidant, or my kind of just like, how do I explain it? Like my inability to like just give credence or um, credence to her emotional needs, because I felt like
Oh yeah.
I wasn't getting mine, like, and so like I was like angry and resentful, like, and I don't understand why I have to figure shit out for you, and no one can figure shit out for me, like stuff like that.
Comes
Um,
across as being a little bit whatchamacallit, insensitive a lot of times too.
yeah, no, for sure, but it's
Yeah.
even if it comes across as being insensitive, it can hurt people. Like it's
Oh
not.
no, it is. Yeah, it
It's
does.
hurting
Yeah.
people that are close to you.
Yes.
But even
Yes.
if you're not like trying to hurt them, right?
Right.
Like, but what they don't often realize is that you're sitting there hurting just as much as they are, in many ways. So
I would say I'm not sure if I am as I don't know. I mean, and probably in some ways, but I don't know if I do necessarily. I'm pretty detached from the emotions, man. Like I'm pretty high on the detachment scale.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, but this is the issue, man. Okay, I'm just gonna give you some I guess would be some hard truth in my opinion when it comes to this shit. If you plan, if you have stronger plans for healing, for finding true self, for finding where your emotional attachments lie, and having a more like a stronger connection to those emotions, even if they are kind of floating around in a very different sort of space than your average person, when you start really finding them, you start locating the manner in which you give a shit about hurting people in your environment, and you start giving a shit about the manner in which you actually hurt. You start
Mhm.
feeling your actual hurt.
I have no doubt. Yeah.
It is fucking hell, dude.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
like, if you ever
I have
watch
no
my
doubt.
streams where I'm sitting there like fucking despondent, or just don't want to do anything but listen to music and just sit there and I look like shit, that's what's happening, man. Like, it is the
Uh,
fucking
uh,
worst shit ever. And I don't want to be on stream, but I decided to fucking do it because of my stupid ass and my principles. So, and so I stay on stream, but I want to just fucking quit everything, including life. So, it's a motherfucker. And that's one of the things that I've talked to schizoids that tell me, that start kind of quote unquote healing in some capacity, even if they start, let's just say they start finding connections with fellow schizoids or something on the server or otherwise, right? Whether it's on the stream, they're hearing things they relate to, and they start feeling shit, and then they have two reactions, which is fuck, 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 fuck. I hate this, but I know it's good for me. I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm just hurting myself. Or
mhm.
two, fuck this, fuck all this. I'm not fucking taking part in this. This is bullshit. I hate it. It's
Mhm.
uncomfortable. It's weird. I fucking hate it. I'm leaving.
Right.
And sometimes it'll be that, and then they'll come back, and then they'll be like, okay, maybe this is something good. But
Mhm.
it's fucking hard, man.
No, I have no doubt. I agree with you.
I'm never gonna paint this whole like, oh hey guys, just come join the community and hang out with schizoids and fucking, you're gonna feel fucking great. You're gonna feel fucking like the fucking on top of life, like in the next fucking 5 months or 3 months, because you're gonna find people that understand you, and then you're gonna feel like whole again. No, that's fucking horse shit. No, what's going to happen is you're going to show up, you're going to find other schizoid peeps, you're going to relate to them, you're going to connect to them, and then you're going to be feeling all kinds of weird shit like, why the fuck do I give a fuck about these people? Or you're going to feel like, I'm empathizing with this person effectively. I think I don't like it. It's weird. Maybe I'm feeling engulfed. They're controlling my mind. They're doing something to me. Or I'm doing something to them. I'm hurting them. I'm a bad person that's hurting them because they're feeling things, and I'm cursed. Like, you're gonna have like all these fucking fucked up thoughts about yourself and them
Right.
and everything else, and it's gonna hurt and it's gonna suck. But like, personally, after going through a lot of shit, because I have been considering, and on like steroids because I'm trying to fucking build a whole community, right? And I'm trying to be like a model of this shit, at least to the best that I can. Um, so I got the fucking, what do you call it? The speed trial, right? And and only because I think I'm just fucking hardy as fuck for whatever fucking predisposition genetic reason. Um, I I'm starting to feel the good from it.
Oh, good, man. Great.
No, like
That's
I'm
great to
starting
hear.
to like really get it enough to where I think I'm gonna start becoming over the next year or two. I'm probably gonna get really fucking cringy in the sense that I'm gonna be like a person that feels like I really want to motivate other people. And like I like to call it like I don't know, I don't even know what to call it. Like I talk to other people, but I feel like there's such a thing as schizoid ambition and schizoid motivation. It's not what your average ambition or motivation looks like at all. It's like a whole
No,
different
I would
fucking
agree
mess.
with you there. Yeah, yeah.
Like
It'll
it's
be a more abstract one.
oh hell yeah, but it's I'm figuring this out. It's taking me some time. I still deal with my dysthymia. I still deal with my depression. I still deal with all kinds of fucking issues. But agoraphobia
I
or
have to
whatever.
ask you.
But yeah.
I mean, you tell us about your depression a lot. I have to ask you, what do you think is, if you've done any work on that, is what's at the root of your depression? Are you
My depression, like as a whole, like
if you know
why
anything?
dysthymia? Like why do I have fucking constant low grade depression and then occasional spikes of severe depression? Um
I mean, if you have any ideas about it, I mean, I don't want
yeah,
to dig deep.
I well it's a combination of well me trying to like regulate how do I put this? Just like the constant feeling of resentment and disappointment for the world and my environment.
Mm.
Like trying to somehow regulate some of that shit. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Go ahead. You cut out.
Sorry, my older daughter came in. She wanted her kiss goodnight, but like
All
she
good.
saw me, she heard me yelling shit and stuff, and she's like, "Stop saying so many bad words." I'm like, ah, damn it. Anyway, but as I was saying, what was I saying? Remind me.
You're talking about where your depression's coming from, or where you're
Oh
going
yeah,
through
my
it.
depression. Yeah. So in my case, I think it's a combination of growing up neurodivergent, having a lot of incompatibility. I got sneezes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
bless you, man. That's
all
bad.
good, all good. And so a lot of resentment for the world, a lot of resentment for living in a framework that's just so confusing and painful. And I see all this sort of like avoidable suffering, at least in my view, that's being propagated constantly. And it's on this kind of more conceptual level, but it constantly hurts me. It constantly bums me out. It makes me want to just not get out of bed sometimes. It's I see it's the loose association sometimes in connection to a lot of that pessimism. So like I'll see or experience something or even the smallest tangential thing, and it'll remind me of like this kind of skyscraper of pain. If
Mm.
that makes sense. Like I may, but I'm a sucker because like I have this mentality of like you can't avoid this. It's reality. So
Mm.
and you will never make any kind of improvement upon it in any capacity if you avert your eyes. Like I have this kind of mentality like that. I don't know where I got that from. But so like if I see like a news article or I see too many of them or if I see I have thoughts just internally about something, or I listen to a podcast or something. Like my brain will kind of go to these very dark, pessimistic places that are very, very just depressing and difficult. And I'm always in this kind of combat internally between my nihilism and my optimistic nihilism. So it's like this emotional kind of barrage in which I'm going back and forth internally, if that makes sense.
No, I totally hear you. Totally hear you.
Yeah,
I guess yours seems to be related to a lot of different things that, at least as far as I can tell, I mean, from what you're telling me there, that aren't necessarily a lot of the standard ones that a lot of people.
No, yeah, and that's what's funny is that like if like say in my more interpersonal world and environment, like wife, kids, all this stuff, the more those things are gene draining. Like say something's happening that requires a lot more energy for me to kind of use in the interpersonal domain, right? Like there's some problem with the fam, kids, the wife, her, just whatever's going on, right? Whatever, when I was working, work, coworkers, shit like that, that would start using up a lot of my energy, but also some of the problems that I would see occurring within even those domains would associate themselves to these other meta domains that actually where my more depressing emotions exist. You get me? So like
I mean, I understand.
Yeah. So like if a customer at work was being a particularly big asshole to me, I would just be like, whatever, fuck you, in my head. But then I would go, why are people like this? Why does this have to function like this? How is this person suffering that makes them take it out on me? Why does that kind of suffering have to occur? Why does this have to happen? And then my thoughts just kind of naturally go in this direction of, wow, everything sucks and everything hurts all the time. And why do we have to be hurting and sucking all the time? And I hate this, and I hate everything, and I hate existence, and so on and so forth. And why is everything so bad? And so my thoughts kind of like drift into these kind of places, and I can usually stave it off pretty good. So that's kind of why I'm kind of this kind of like aloof, sort of low grade pessimistic depression, like almost kind of like are you familiar with the term sardonic?
I am, yeah, but that's a big word that I don't use a lot. And
But sardonic is kind of like my attitude, which is like in association with my dysthymia, which is kind of like if I were to look up and a meteor was about to crash to Earth, I would just, my first thought would be, well, that's about expected. Like it's not oh, who could have ever thought it would end this way? No, it would just be like, that looks about right. And then that's kind of my attitude toward a lot of things all the time. Like that's that's like my automatic response. That's not like I'm trying to be edgy, right? It's not like, it's just this constant default state of, oh, things are disappointing all the time, and I'm in the state of like, it's always going to be that way all the time, forever. So I know it's not exactly white pilling, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth of my experience. Yeah.
I totally hear you, man. Totally hear you.
I know, and then people listen to me and they're like, "We're supposed to fucking feel optimistic and positive from this fucking guy, right?" But like, hey, man, if I could fucking make it happen, you motherfuckers can do it in some capacity. Come on, we gotta do it. I mean, I got alcohol to help a little bit sometimes, but whatever.
I hear you. I have to ask you though. So I mean, and I don't want to.
Well, the stream's gonna end pretty soon here, so go ahead and ask your last question so I can fucking end this shit because I'm tired.
Oh, bro, if you're tired, we'll dip out.
No. I'm tired, but I want to fucking. But I'm interested. So give me one last one.
Well, I only bring this up because you're telling us about the depression in quite a few streams and what have you.
Yeah. Stop sucking my dick. Just tell me what you're gonna say. Sorry, man. You're using too much teeth, bro. All right, so just keep going.
Are you trying to do the like the why am I feeling so good all the time starter pack things all the time, and just all the things that you can do to open your window up, let
My
the
chakras,
sunshine in, try to get up with the
fucking tap into
sunshine
my
at 7
chakras,
a.m.
astrally projecting shit.
all
No,
all the shit, man,
yeah,
all the
yeah,
shit.
fucking gem crystals in my fucking under my ball sack to give me powers.
You
Yeah,
need some gem crystals. You
yeah,
need the
whatever.
sun
Like,
under
okay,
your
so
ball sack.
well, yeah,
That's right.
fine, fine. Like, well, what are you asking?
But I mean, are you engaging in those kind of behaviors, or are you a lot of times taking it out on the drink, or are you doing just? I think you're a lot of times in these rather dark rooms, or sometimes in a room that doesn't have a lot of light coming in.
Well, I could have
Um,
light. I just like it dark because I'm cozy this way. I'm cozier in the dark.
okay, okay,
But I don't
all right, good
associate
times,
being.
good
I don't
times.
associate sitting in the dark with negativity. Like I associate
Mm,
sitting in the dark with wow, it's so much less bright and constantly bombarding me with information that I want.
I
Like I just want it to be
I hear you on
quiet
that, but
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I would suggest to you that maybe your brain has certain natural things in it that you need
All
you
right,
need
that's it.
the
I gotta
sun to
turn
be
on the
going.
fucking lights. Look at that. Boom. Oh man, I feel so much better now. Fucking open the fucking windows. Woo! Let the sun in. Dude, I'll tell you right now,
Lighten it up.
like, it doesn't make me feel any better at all. It makes me feel so much worse. I am less cozy with this light on. I am less cozy when the sun is out and the sky is blue. Like if
Man, that's
like, but that's it. I mean, that might just be my own unique aesthetic, man. That's not like a schizoid specific thing, right? Like, there's probably
no,
schizoids out
for
there that
sure,
like
yeah.
fucking feel way better when the sun's out and the sky is blue and it's summer and it's great and the fucking birds are chirping and all that shit. Like, I'm not gonna shit on a schizoid that feels good in those conditions or better. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm a fucking spooky motherfucker. So, I like it dark. I like rain. I like thunder. I like lightning. I like, I guess, would be Washington, Seattle type weather, just cloudy and
Mhm.
gray.
Yeah.
Um, I'm the type of guy that grew. I was the teenager that hung out in graveyards, bro. Like, because it felt comfortable. Because everyone there was dead and no one was gonna bother me, and I would sometimes sit there pretending to talk like out loud to myself and thinking, I wonder if ghosts are listening. Like I was a weird fucking emo ass fucking gothy weird fucking kid. Even if I would have been like say a neurotypical kid, I would have still been like some fucking goth kid or some fucking scene dark moody kid of some kind for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's just my aesthetic, man. Like scary horror, spooky, dark, depressing aesthetic.
I totally hear you. Totally hear you, man.
But there's a
I don't
difference
want to try to
between
force
that.
anything on you.
No. But there's a difference between that and like actual depression. Like, cause I could feel cozy and comfortable in what would be considered to be a depressing setting, right? Conventionally a depressing setting, but I could actually feel really comfortable and chill and relaxed, right?
So let me just ask you though:
Yeah.
are you maybe comfortable in your depression?
Probably at this point only because I've been living it for decades. So,
Right. Right.
maybe I think I would be confused if I felt good all the time.
Right.
I think I told this to my psych. I think my dysthymia has like integrated into my sense of self at this point. But it's not so bad. So like when I'm in my kind of sardonic sort of low grade, I am fine. Like I can actually be pretty comfortable. Like I'm just like meh, meh, and then I'll just enjoy the spikes when it's not like that, and that's good enough for me. I don't really need. If I felt good all the time, I'd probably get scared. I'd probably get like
It's weird
confused.
feeling.
No, I'd just be
If
like,
I ever feel good,
what the fuck's
yeah.
happening? Like, I don't like this. Like, if I took like a medication and suddenly like I'm just like I don't feel low grade depression ever for days at a time, I would think I'm like manic and losing my
Mhm.
mind. Like I would feel like I'm just oh my god, this is mania. This is what mania feels like.
Mhm.
I'm terrified right now. So I think
I hear you.
I'm okay with the low grade. Like I can live with the dysthymia for the most part. I think it's just those fucking severe spikes or the anhedonia episodes that I could do without. I could do without the severe depression spikes and the anhedonia and avolition parts. Those parts I'd like to go ahead and sign off on. I don't want those anymore. Oh no, sign a waiver. Get rid of those. I'll sign off on the dysthymia. I'll keep that. Whatever. I'll deal with it. I can manage that much. I could be like the depressed character. I'll be the Eeyore. That's fine. I don't mind. It's
Totally hear you, man. Totally hear you.
Like it's okay.
Well,
Somebody has to play that role. Okay. But somebody else has to be like blue skies and birds chirping, hallelujah, and praise Jesus. And and I'm not gonna shit on that person either. Like I'm just gonna be like, you know what? You're just as valuable as motherfuckers like me in our own right. So let's just keep on, which is not valuable at all because nothing matters. So we're good. All right, guy. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for jumping on the stream. Thanks for the discussion. Thanks for everything else. And that was great. That was great. Whenever you want to jump on Withers, you're more than welcome to discuss and talk. If you're one of those fucking zoids out there that just happens to have the ability to express your thoughts without much holding you back, at least in these sort of conditions, then absolutely you're more than welcome to. It gives me content and bullshit to talk about that apparently people seem to enjoy, because I know I had hit like 15 people at one point, but I've been keeping a consistent 11 or 12 since you jumped on and we started talking. So whatever.
Good times, man. Good times. I'm
whatever
glad to
keeps me
contribute.
rambling usually keeps the audience intact. So, it's when I just start doing like this. And
well, I tell you, so
they stay too. There's been times where like, dude, this is the funniest shit. Before I end this, there's been times where like I am just fucking wrecked, and I'm just sitting there like, I make fun of myself now, but like it wasn't fun when it was happening. I'm sitting there like just in a severe state. I just want to do a backflip so bad, and I'm done, dude. Feel so fucking done, and I'm just playing music, and I have like, I'm not even in the VC, that shit's muted, and I'm just sitting there for like 30-40 minutes, and I'll look up at the viewership, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'll just get confused because there'll be like 15 people watching me, and I'll be like, but I'll be in such a state that I just don't care, that I'll just be like, that's fucking weird. I hate everything. Like, maybe I should, like, I'll have really bad thoughts, like, oh, maybe this is the best time to fucking backflip if I had something. So, but point is just like, I don't know. I don't understand my demographic. I don't understand my audience, man. If I'm having like a conversation like this with somebody, they'll jump on. If I'm sitting there like just dying, they might jump on and start watching. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get what this demographic's crazy. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do with it. My audience is wild. They
might just leave you on in the background. They might not be watching. So.
No, yeah, but what are they listening? Just to my music and me just sitting there dying, like feeling like the worst ever. Like maybe they're just like I'm like, I start thinking like afterwards, once I start like thinking about it, I just start laughing because I'm like, are these people just like fapping to this? Like, are they just sitting there like? Like, oh, look at all this misery. Oh my god, it's so good. Like, look how fuck. Oh yeah, it's so good. He's so sad, and they're just like waiting till like my stream ends to bust on their screen. Like, I don't understand what. Like, I don't know what's happening, man. Like, they just want to see like, oh, he's thinking about dying. That's so hot. Like, it's just like the Schizoid OnlyFans streams. But,
Jesus. This is getting too messed up, man. Too messed up.
Oh, for you, maybe. For you.
Yeah.
For you, for Withers. For Withers, who wants blue skies and hallelujah.
Totally fap to this.
Oh, yeah, see? They just say it. That's why Lowell jumps on. He just faps to all this. It's all right, man. Hey, if you're going to fap to my misery, Gent Lowell, can you please send me more money? Send me more money, please. And then I'll be more sad for you, okay? More sad. I'll be more sad for gentle. You want the saddest boy? I'll give you the saddest boy. Like, I'll just do that. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, bros. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna hit this Patreon here, and I'll try to join y'all for the next stream.
Dude.
Do
Just
you
don't
have
start
a schedule?
a schedule. I'm usually on 7 p.m. 7:15. Actually, more like 7:15. But 7:15 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But I'm gonna be doing more Sundays for this month because I think a lot of my Saturdays are kind of taken up this month with all kinds of social engagements. So
Yeah, that's fine.
all right. So
Yeah.
usually it's around those times and on those days. Sometimes I do a random surprise fucking stream when I'm drunk and I feel like it
Gotcha.
or something. But in any case, thanks a lot, guy. Good talking. And thanks to everyone that jumped on. If you like the stream, if you like what I do, if you like what I talk about, give me your fucking money. Jump on Patreon. Also, what was I going to say? Wait, no, I don't. This thing's stupid. Never mind. And you can send PayPal. I'll take fucking Ether, Litecoin. I think I got Cardano listed on there. If you don't like Patreon, there's Coffee or Ko-Fi. Have that one. And if you don't like any of that shit, and you want something in return, like I have that group, the Schizoids that I do with Joanna. And it's going to start this next Saturday. I think there might be one spot open for anybody that's interested. But we're going to have 6 people. We're going to do 6 sessions, and we're going to talk about shit like this, see where we can go. We have ideas for how we want to kind of guide it and talk about it. But we're doing these kind of like 6 session, hour and a half each session every Saturday at noon PST, and see where we can get with that group of people as far as like maybe processing some shit and get into something that can make things a little bit better for the people involved to some degree. I can't promise anything, but I'll try my best. In any case, yeah, thanks to everyone. And as usual, when day is dark, always remember, happy day. Hello? Hello?